Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Game Week 2 team selection video. For me, this is Pranil, Lateriser 12, and the first week of FPL has passed. And there was lots of observations. I had a pod with Prasans of yesterday where we spoke about all the observations, all the takeaways from Game Week 1 yesterday at length, including whether you should be triple captaining Haaland, sponsor replacements, it's all in there. So I highly recommend you watch that video. But this is going to be about my team, how I did, and what moves, if any, do I have in plan. Right. So let's just get right into it. This is how I did. I got 59 points. I am ranked at 3.8 million. Nothing great, but hey, listen, I'm not panicking at the moment. Things don't look terrible at the moment. There's not much to worry about at the moment. So I think things are fine. I think as long as things terrible and it hasn't the roof, I think you're good to go. And I'm pretty happy with my team and the long term view. And game week 1, if I went back, I think I just have one regret in terms of a move I didn't make that I was feeling really good about. Outside of that, I'm fine, man. So how do we do? We had Henderson and Munoz. Henderson got 2 points, Munoz 4 points. Not that great. Brentford just played for 15 minutes and scored 2 goals. Brentford away is never an easy fixture. I feel like the second game at home is is a relatively easier fixture for my Triple Palace defense. Either way, I'm not going to move these people around. They're going to be there for the first 4-5 weeks or 3 weeks until I wildcard. I'll be talking about that later in the video. Oh, by the way, if you haven't already, we've been doing tons of content. Soft did a stats review video on Monday, which is 20 minutes of just going through the stats. We did a pod yesterday. I'm doing a team selection video. Zoff and Pras will be doing their team selection videos. We're also doing a deadline stream. So we're churning out a lot of content. Click on the notification button, hit the like and subscribe. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you. So Munoz, right? He wasn't as attacking as Mitchell was on the other side. That said, Munoz tends to do a lot more of his attacking work at home, and he got an assist. So no complaints there. Trent was absolute magnificent. I think in week 4, when they have Forest and Bournemouth at home, Liverpool, you need to be planning for Trent. 7 million, he's going to be a no-brainer. He's a stickler in all teams. A set and forget. He's so attacking. Liverpool had a lot more control. Not in the first 35-40 minutes, but they got used to how Ipswich were playing, and things were a lot better after that. Barco might be moving out of England, man. The good thing about that is, the bad thing about that is obviously you might not be able to use him in the future. That's why he was probably benched, because they didn't want to risk a transfer. But he's going out on loan, and I think that's good because he's highly rated and they want to give him playing time. Good thing about that is he'll be price locked. Until the time you wildcard, you don't have to worry about price drops. That's a good thing. That's an advantage. Jota looked really good. Should have had 2 goals, 75 minutes. Obviously, not going to get the 90 minutes that Mo Salah did, who looked electric. I mean, everybody who was thinking that Mo Salah's playing white, I'm laughing at you. Really, he was so good. Salah was on the last man, moving central. Every time I mentioned on the previous videos as well that White was his rest position, looking to move central as soon as he can. And at the moment, everything that I do is planned around making sure that I get more Salah in Game Week 4 for those 2 home games against Forest and Bournemouth. Like, that needs to be at the top of your mind as well, because it's at the top of my mind. So think about that. Jota, good pick. Saka looked electric, man. He looked so sharp. He came inward at every opportunity at the back post. Every time Arsenal were creating from the left, Saka was stationed at the back post, looking for tap in or a header, and creative, and everything that he done good. And he's 23. Trajectory is only going to improve. So, man, if I am looking at a Saka to Salah sell in Game Week 4, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, but I think needs must. Something that might happen multiple times this season. Gordon, 3 points. I'll take those 3 points. It was rather unfortunate that Shar had gotten a red card. Rules are rules, and there's nothing much you can do about that. I'm hoping that Gordon does better in game week 2. And Kuku, the guy on my thumbnail, man, under 60 minutes, playing wide. I don't like that, Maresca. I do not like that. I'm hoping for better. So on Sunday, while I was watching the match, I'll take you through, guys, through my journey. Frustrated, I was angry at Mariska. I was like a little bit panicky, etc. And it's not always nice to act when you're panicking, because I was like, I don't know if he's going to play 90 minutes. It's going to be a constant problem. I'm not taking advantage, etc. 1 minute, 1 point under 60 minutes. Then panic sets. goes away and you wake up on Monday morning, and the thinking that comes to my mind is that Enzo, uh, Casedo, and Lavia was a midfielder he used specially against City. He could use one more attacking midfielder against Wolves, which is an easier game, and against other opposition, which are easier opposition, and Nkuku could be playing much more central. They do have a game on Thursday night, so I want to see if Nkuku starts. I hope he doesn't. I hope he comes on maybe for 15-20 minutes and then starts the weekend game. I think that will give us an indication. If he starts, also Zoff is of the opinion that even if he plays 60 minutes, it's fine. Let him build up his fitness. So at the moment, as things stand on Wednesday, it looks like I'm holding Nkuku, but I am tempted by a certain Brereton Diaz, who's got good fixtures, starting with Forest at home in game week 2 as well. So something you need to be mindful of. And then I've got Haaland up front, did his thing. He could have easily had 2 goals, and definitely captaining him. Game week 2 against Ipswich at home. That's the money game. I think Salah at home against Brentford is slightly inferior. Not slightly. I think it's fairly inferior. This is the money game. Like, I think you need at least 2 returns from Haaland from this week in game week 2. Isak again, because of the red card, played against 10 men. Southampton did well even in the first 30 minutes, but yeah, man, you hope more from Isak in game week 2, and I think it will come. Solanke took a while getting used to his teammates. He had a few good chances, just didn't finish them. And that is the single position in which I have regret in my game week 1 team selection, because I was really, really close to Kai. I spoke about Kai on the pod and said that it's a little bit of a blind spot for us. He's been hogging the XG for Arsenal since the second half of last year. Really good, and one of the best teams in the league that is very used to playing with each other, and he looked really good that first game against Fulham. So I need to think about getting him Kai soon, but I'm going to give Solanke obviously the Everton at home game, especially when 2 of the defenders are going to be Michael Keane. You know our thoughts about Michael Keane. The moment Michael Keane plays, opposition is good for 3 goals at least. And we have, I think, Mikolenko, who looked okay. Holgate is going to play at Everton. I'm very, very optimistic, the Tom Solanke owner in game week 2. And Robinson came on for Barco. Obviously, I thought he looked really, really good against Fulham, against United. Very, very attacking, sharp. I'm quite hopeful of him. They've been making some good moves. They already got Anderson in as well. So Bassi is a problem in the defense, and hopefully Anderson coming in, wait on Bassi, and that sorts that position. Just a quick plug. All the stats that you see on our podcast are from the Fantasy Football Scout members area. They've got a 40% off. They've got a mobile application. Everything you want in terms of comparison tools, etc., is all on that application. The fingertips. It's worthwhile becoming a member. And if you are becoming a member, please click on the link in the description below. Right. So how we set up in game week 2? Love how the animation. So in game week 1, the entire defense was playing away. In game week 2, got 4 home fixtures. I'm hoping at least 2 out of the 4 come through with a clean sheet. West Ham looked a little not very sharp, so I'm hoping that Crystal Palace come with a home fixture. That said, I just want 1 return from Munoz, whether that's a clean sheet, whether that's an attacking return. I'll be happy with that. Trent, so confident of him as an asset. Right? He's so much more attacking. He created 2 big chances. He was inside the box for a couple of shots that he was taking. Really good. Robinson, again, really attacking. Leicester did really well against Spurs, especially in the last 30 minutes. Spurs lost a bit of momentum once Leicester scored the goal, but I'm hoping that Fulham are able to keep them quiet. Saka is obviously in there, not much to talk about him. Gordon, Jota, all in there. Nkuku is the one we spoke about that might be tempted to sell him. If he plays like 75, 80, 85 minutes and does nothing and looks poor in the midweek game, then maybe we think about doing something with Nkuku. But at the moment, he's going to stay. His fixtures are really good. I'm going to talk about that a little later. Up front, it's looking good, man. Haaland and Solanke, 2 good home fixtures. Haaland's playing Ipswich at home, captain option. Solanke, Everton at home, vice captain option. And Isak, who plays Bournemouth away. No problem. Sangara as my sub. Paco is somebody I'm going to hide until the wildcard. Johnson, who didn't come on, but I think I'm not too worried about his expected minutes. I think he could be starting, especially as the other centre back, I forget his name, next to Greaves, he did get a little injured. So we want to see what happens with Johnson in the future games. Now, yeah, you guys saw that the Ben Brereton Diaz thing is something we spoke about. But Where are my transfers? See, you guys saw Game Week 2, and Game Week 2 looks fine. But where are my transfers going to be dictated in the future? And they are going to be dictated here. This is a game fixture taker with Game Week 3, 4, 5. We've already spoken about Game Week 2. But look at this. Salah plays United away in Game Week 3, but he plays Forest at home and Bournemouth at home in Game Week 4 and 5. You need Salah here. I mean, his captaincy covered. City play Brentford at home in Game Week 4, so you can captain Haaland there. And Newcastle play Fulham away. You can maybe captain Isak there. Who does Arsenal play? Arsenal play City away. No. So Salah is definitely the best captaincy option in Game Week 5. I just think you need Salah for Game Week 4 and 5. It's something that's on the top of my mind and something that you should be thinking about. Now, considering my team, which are the assets in which I could sell for Salah? Obviously, Haaland is one of them. But you're then missing out on the great Brentford at home fixture for Erling Haaland. And worth noting that between 4 and 5, UCL comes through. He does have Arsenal at home in Game Week 5, so is it worth taking the risk? Like you could do Haaland and Saka to Salah, and then Aston Villa have a great run of fixtures from Game Week 3. Leicester away in 3, Everton at home in Game Week 4, and Wolves at home in Game Week 5. So Watkins is sitting there. He didn't really look really good in Game Week 1, but something to monitor. This is just nice to do in terms of potential moves and planning, so you know how much funds you need, etc. I actually didn't do a lot of this last year. I got a little lazy. I'm like, I'll figure it out when things stand. And because I'm doing this video and I'm going on this journey with you guys, I'm thinking a little more about planning and things that I need to be mindful, things I need to think of. So I think it'll help me. This entire process will help me. People who had Konsa, maybe Leaf Davis is somebody you think about who's got good fixtures in 3, 4, 5, very attacking. 18 touches in the final third amongst all Ipswich players. That was the highest. Konsa, KONSA is a nice option. My favorite option was Anton Robinson, who's got West Ham at home in Game Week 2. Then he's got Ipswich away, West Ham home, and Newcastle at home in Game Week 3, 4, 5. Fulham had Leicester at home. Sorry. That was a mistake. That's a good option. I really like Robinson as a pick. And a lot of people have thought of Rico Lewis as a punt. Just know that it's a very short term punt, probably for the Ipswich fixture. And if you are going Rico Lewis, I'd wait for potential team leaks and team news on Saturday because the game is on Saturday. You could get news and then you jump on him if it looks like it's starting. But yeah, man, I wouldn't go up. I'd make sure that if you don't have Salah, you're sort of fixing your team in such a way that enables Salah in the future because he's just somebody we're going to need. What are the potential options? I got Gordon as somebody I could sell. I like that Spurs home fixture in Game Week 3 for Gordon. After that, I've got Wolves away and Fulham away for Gordon. So not a necessary sell, but somebody I could sell maybe. Isak is the same. I've got Solanke in there. Solanke could be a sell because Solanke's got Newcastle away in Game Week 3, Arsenal at home in Game Week 4. So he could be a sell. The problem is, do we have a striker that we like? I'm not sure. One team that I do like that sort of has cheap assets that has good fixtures in Game Week 4 and 5 is Brighton at home. Brighton were really good against Everton, and they got Ipswich at home and Forest at home in Game Week 4 and 5. So you could be going for Minter, you could be going for Mitoma. Is there a striker that's nailed in that Brighton setup with Rutter, Ferguson training, Welbeck, Pedro, and they got one more guy as well. So I'm dicey about the striker options. Is there anybody else? I mean, Morgan Rogers is somebody as a cheap asset you could punt on by that time if he looks like he's going to stick in the first team. And Kuku could be sold. Bournemouth away and West Ham away in Game Week 4 and 5. Not the best fixtures. Minte is sitting there if I want to downgrade Gordon or Nkuku. Minte is sitting there. Jota you probably hold even though you think he's not going to get 2 starts out of 2 in Forest at home and Bournemouth at home. But if he gets 75 plus 30 minutes, so let's say if he gets 105 minutes in those 2 fixtures in Game Week 4 and 5, I'm happy with him. So I don't think I'll sell him in Game Week 4 and 5. Bruno looked great. Maybe Garnacho could be an option. Southampton away and Palace away isn't that bad. So yeah, these are the things that we need to monitor. I think I'm looking at Saka to Salah because Arsenal has Spurs away and City away in Game Week 4 and 5. You just have to sometimes take tough decisions, even though Spurs might be a great attacking fixture for Saka. You just have to do that if it looks like it might be the case in Game 4. For that, I'll need 2.5 million. So I can maybe get something if I downgrade Munoz before the Leicester home game now. It has to be Dola Solanke down to an attacker or Haaland if I want to sell him, or Gordon or Nkuku to a 5.5 million. And I'm looking to save transfers so that I can do like 3 transfers in Game Week 4 and figure out this equation because my priority transfer is Musa. Speaking of transfer targets, what we're doing now is we're getting a watch list in place. Salah is a priority transfer, as you mentioned. Eze and Bumo look really, really good. Eze 7, 8 chances, shots, and he was in the box. Should have scored the free kick, is on penalties. Just a really good pick. What does SA have? He's got Chelsea away, then he's got Leicester at home and United home in Game Week 4 and 5. But I just think I want to prioritize the Salah transfer over SA in Game Week 4 and 5. Same with Boomo. Looks great. He's got a great fixture in Game Week 3, Southampton at home, but Game Week 4 and 5, tough. City away, Spurs away. So Boomo's going to have to wait for the wild card. Kai. Kai is somebody I really like. Has a great fixture in Game Week 3, Brighton at home. But again, Game Week 4 and 5. Game Week 4 isn't tough. He's got Spurs away, so Game Week 4 isn't tough. But again, maybe somebody I want to move for in Game Week 6. We'll talk about the run later. Matson is somebody I loved how attacking Dean was. And once Matson becomes first choice, he's a pick I'm really interested in. Maybe if you're on a Game Week 3 wildcard or a Game Week 6 wildcard, or anywhere between Game Week 3 and 6, Matson could become interesting. Rico Lewis, the moment Kyle Walker gets injured, Rico Lewis needs to be on our watch list. Brighton Day, as already spoke about. And just a large macro thought about UCL rotation. I think we might see more rotation than usual. And there might be a case of, okay, this guy played 90 minutes this midweek, so I don't think I'm going to start him in this week, which means that I want to probably have a strong 8th attacker, strong 4th defender when I'm building my wildcard team. And when you're building your wildcard team, anywhere between Game Week 3 on and 6, 7, 8. Just going to reiterate some wildcard windows that Pras mentioned. I really like the wildcard 6 because of two main things. Arsenal have two tough fixtures in Game Week 4 and 5. Then they have Leicester at home, Southampton at home, and Bournemouth away in Game Week 6, 7, 8. I think you need to triple up on Arsenal here. And, because they've got Liverpool at home, Newcastle away, and Chelsea away in Game Week 9 and 11, I think maybe you triple up 2 Saka Kai plus 1 defender, because you don't like defensive moves, and you hold 1 defender through here. More on that later. Aston Villa have a great run of fixtures, but Aston Villa have a great run of fixtures Game Week 3 onwards. So if you're looking to go for an early wildcard, advantage of Aston Villa having good fixtures in Game Week 3 is there. And City have a tough, no fixtures tough for City, but they have Newcastle away, Game Week 6. But after that, look at that. Fulham at home, Wolves away, Southampton home, Bournemouth away, Brighton away. So the two of the best teams in the land go on great runs. At the moment, I just have Haaland from City and Saka from Arsenal. I want at least 5 players from City and Arsenal, which is why I'm looking at this wildcard window of Game Week 6. Liverpool have sort of middling fixtures. What if you want to wildcard early? This is the Game Week 3 wildcard window. The biggest advantage here is Aston Villa. But if you're bigging up on Arsenal, then you have to deal with the Spurs away, which is not a bad fixture, and City away. Actually, City away is not that bad, so you could wildcard and go big on Arsenal as well if you're looking at a Game Week 3 wildcard. And the rest isn't that important. You'll figure that out. But at the moment, it looks like we're going to be saving. And I just hope I've given you enough information in this video, enough food for thought. If there are some ideas for transfers, etc., that if you can think of for me, let me know. Make sure you're clicking on the like and subscribe button. And that is all from me. Good luck this week, guys, and take care. I'll be captaining Haaland. I don't think I'm triple captaining Haaland, even though there's a temptation. I mean, the more I think about it, it does make sense, but I don't think I'm just too early for me. I don't trust that City attack without Foden and Rodri getting enough, them not being full flow. So yeah, that's that. If you do it, good luck, and I'll see you next week. Take care, guys.